On a bright and warm summer morning, a little ant was already hard at work. He scurried back and forth, carrying tiny bits of food back to his nest. He knew he had to prepare for the cold days that were sure to come. Not far away, a happy grasshopper was just starting his day. He sat on a rock, playing his violin and singing joyful songs, soaking up the beautiful sunshine without a single worry. The ant bustled past the grasshopper, struggling with a heavy grain of wheat. The grasshopper stopped playing and called out cheerfully, "Hey, little ant, why are you working so hard on such a beautiful day? Come sing and dance with me." The ant smiled but didn't stop. "Oh no, I can't," he replied. "I have to gather food while I can. Winter will be here before we know it." The grasshopper just laughed. "Winter? Ha! That's so far away. You should learn to enjoy the moment, my friend." The ant simply shook his head and continued on his way, while the grasshopper went right back to his song, not giving it another thought. Day after day, the little ant worked tirelessly under the hot sun. He collected food, stored every grain she could find, and made his nest strong and cozy. The grasshopper, on the other hand, sang his heart out, danced with the butterflies, and napped under shady leaves, enjoying every single sunny moment. But soon, the warm days began to fade. The sky turned a little grayer, and the colorful leaves started to fall from the trees. The seasons were beginning to change. And then, winter arrived. A cold wind blew across the meadow, and soft white snow began to cover everything. The once green fields were now white, and the trees stood bare. The grasshopper shivered, suddenly realizing he couldn't find a single thing to eat. "Oh no," he whispered sadly to himself, huddled under a frozen leaf. "I'm so hungry and cold. I should have listened to the ant. I didn't save anything at all." Desperate and weak, he stumbled through the snow until he saw a warm, glowing light. It was coming from the ant's cozy home. He gathered his last bit of strength and knocked on the door. "Dear ant," he said weakly when she opened it, "I'm hungry and freezing. Please, could you spare a little something to eat?" The ant looked at him kindly but with a serious expression. "Grasshopper, what were you doing all summer while I was working so hard?" The grasshopper looked down, ashamed. "I was singing. I didn't think winter would come so soon." The ant sighed, but then a gentle smile appeared on his face. "All right, come in and get warm," he said, opening the door wider. "I'll share some of my food with you. But you must remember this lesson. Next summer, you have to work too." And so, when spring returned and the sun shone brightly once more, the grasshopper was no longer lazy. He worked hard right alongside the ants, helping them gather food for the next winter. And you know what? He still sang as he worked, because he had finally learned a very important lesson. There's a time for work, and there's a time for play. What lesson did you learn from this story? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this fable, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends for more fun stories. Thanks for watching.